How can you hate Mushoku Tensei? It's an extremely dividing anime. You either love it and want to cheer the main character on as he succeeds at his second chance in life, or you hate it and you want to put Rudy's mind and every other fan's head in a stick because he's mentally 40 doing things that to get my video demonetized if I said it out loud, which sounds pretty damning to my argument, but I'm gonna say the thing. He's supposed to be that way. In his previous life, he was bullied. He was a shut-in. He was a degenerate and had no future and would rather choke his chicken than attend his parents' funeral, but he still was fundamentally a good person. He would sacrifice himself to save others. And so when he got a second chance at life again, he takes off in the opposite direction, attempting to achieve success that he could never even imagine in his previous life. But that doesn't mean he's perfect now. That doesn't mean he's changed at all. He still has all those scars from his previous life, like being scared of others, not wanting to go outside, or the lack of compassion in his life. So when his parents invest their time to raise him and he feels love for the first time since he's been shut off from the world, his walls start to lower as their family grows in size and closer together over time.
I'm afraid I'm pregnant.
Everyone is so human in this anime. Rudy is emotionally unintelligent and doesn't know how to handle any kind of relationships, whether it's parentally, womanly, pantily, and the dad can't help but open up the beef curtains to any woman around, and Roxy over here is having a DJ session while listening to the two parents getting it on, and the mom, he's pretty cool actually, but that's okay because you're not supposed to want to be like any of them. You're not supposed to self-insert on any of them like you do in your many black-haired Isekai MCs. They aren't going on some grand adventure to save the world with pretty flashing colors that's been copy and pasted 7 different times with different titles, surrounded by women with large plot points. There isn't some big plot reveal or gimmick like a vending machine or having a smartphone in another world that tells you how to survive like some kind of cheat code to success. So when Rudy is randomly dropped thousands of miles away on the demon continent with a 12-year-old girl, it's time to sack up. He needs to traverse foreign lands with no clue where he's at. He needs to get directions without speaking the native language. He needs to get money despite not having a job. He needs to not only survive, but he needs to provide for another human being. It wasn't until now that Rudy started to mentally mature, because if he didn't, he was going to die. And then after traversing the world for 3 years like this, developing bonds with his companions, coming up with solutions to tough situations, he really did change. God damn it. Yes, he did not completely grow up. Yes, he did mature though. Yes, he fell in love. Yes, this love of his is his 15-year-old cousin, and yes, that is weird in today's standards, but you also can't discuss this in real life or today's standards. Officer, I swear I'm 12 years old physically, I'm just mentally 40 years old. What? If you want to argue about it, go talk to a lawyer and ask them what they think, because it can't happen in real life. Would I do it? No, but I'm not gonna slight this story for trying to represent the time period it takes place in, where age of consent is puberty, where slavery was legal, where murder in the streets is so calm, and this girl was completely unfazed and even smiled about it afterwards. But I get it. This is definitely the reason why a lot of people hate this anime. I get it if you do, and I get it if you don't. It's like watching true crime on Netflix. They did a really horrible thing, but we're still watching for our own enjoyment. Just one happened in real life, while the other one someone had the thought, wrote it down, and drew it. That doesn't sound good either. All I'm trying to say is just distinguish between fiction and reality. This is very obviously not our world or our rules, and stop trying to treat it that way. The author didn't have to make him despicable in that way though. That was a little weird. Now I'm gonna speedrun season 2 because I need to get to the point of this video already. Rudy gets his heart broken. He gets depression. He gets erectile dysfunction. He gets no bitches. God tells him go to school and you'll find a cure for your ED. Then he falls in love with a man, but the man ends up being his childhood friend who's actually an elf girl, and his partner snaps right back up like he's one of those inflatable guys in front of a car dealership. I am so fucking hard. Got it? Cool. Now for the point of the video. I know I'm gonna sound like a delusional One Piece fan saying, you gotta watch the first 500 episodes before it gets good. But Mushoku Tensei's first 36 episodes are good. There's no denying that. They have really great animation. The characters feel like real people and the world is masterfully crafted. But after episode 36 is when you can truly appreciate what Mushoku Tensei created. At this point, Rudy has changed. He has matured to the point where he should have been in his real life. He is an adult adult now. He's happily married, he owns a house, his work is fulfilling as he researches the disaster that threw not only his family into chaos, but his hometown, his own kingdom. And Sylvie is successful, becoming a royal guard for a princess, and each of them wanting to become better for the other. Not only this, but they've stabilized their life so much that they can take care of their family by housing and feeding them, even sending his little sisters to school. Rudy has emotionally matured enough that he can recognize someone who is struggling like he once was and is able to guide them down the right path before it's too late. Watching Mushoku Tensei is like watching your own child grow up. You want to cheer them on, but you get upset when they let you down. You feel pity when they reach their lows, but you still end up being proud of who they became in the end, as he achieved probably everything he could have imagined in his previous life, even if he is still a horny little bastard. Which is the reason we were never supposed to like him, was this rewarding payoff as we watch him grow into a capable human being that helps others. The reason we weren't supposed to self-uncertain anyone is because this was meant to be a completely new world viewed by Rudy's eyes as he traverses lands, continents, biomes, cities, each individual person living their own separate life that is just a blip in Rudy's story. The story of Mushoku Tensei is Rudy's biography. This isn't a story of a grand adventure or trying to get back to Earth or anything complex like that. It's just the events of a person's life who's traversing the uphill battle of bettering one's self. Even websites for the source material break the series into sections like childhood, adolescence, young man, which is why so many of the emotional moments hit that hard. If you're at your lowest, you get kicked while you're down, and the thought of self-deleting may cross your mind, but Rudy acted on it. He attempted it. But if this guy wasn't here, he may have actually done it. That was the moment that really changed my perspective about this anime. I realized how real this anime is and why it hits so hard. They have become humanized beyond recognition, and that makes the impacts of their actions and feelings that much more real and believable, with pretty flashy colors. So I can understand if you don't want to watch it because of the weird 15 age mental difference, that I get that. But if there's another reason, sack up and go watch it. It's so good, it's so rewarding, and also subscribe while you're here and watch another video while you're at it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know what this was.